What's up, guys? How you guys doing? And welcome back to another News HL video. And this video is going to be about what has changed in the New Jersey Devils. So let's get into this. As we see here, the New Jersey Devils are currently first in the Metropolitan Division, which is currently very unexpected since last year, which I believe they were seventh place in the Metropolitan Division, which is pretty bad for the New Jersey Devils. Now, let's start off with how they're doing this season. As we can see, the Devils have a .727 point percentage. They have 16 points in 11 games, which is a pretty good amount. And they have a plus 12 goal difference, which is a pretty large amount with the starting 11 games. They're currently on a 5-win streak, which is pretty good for the New Jersey Devils since they have never had a 5-game winning streak since 2017. Now we can look at the power play. Now the power play may not be as good as you expect, but they're actually 22nd, which isn't too bad with only a 20% power play. And as we look at the penalty kill, the New Jersey Devils are 4th, which is really good with an 86% chance of killing off the penalty. Now, many people say that the New Jersey Devils are the fastest team in the NHL since of how many shots they have per game. As we can see, the Devils are currently second in shots, which is as an average of 39.5 shots per game, which rounds up to 39, I believe. That is a high amount of shots for New Jersey Devils, who didn't have that many shots per game last season. Alright, and shots against per game, which is last. You may be thinking, well, last, that's bad. Well, no, when it comes to this situation, being last, being with shots against, that's actually really good. They only have 23 shots against, which means their defense is doing very good. And also, we can see the face-off percentage, win percentage, that Devils are also third, which is a good amount since Devils were not so good last season with the face-off percentage. I believe they were 30th, I'm not sure, but they were not as good in the face-off win percentage. Their goals for not too bad with the 40, and the goals against is also not too bad, which is actually really good. It's only 28, so that gives them a plus 12 goal difference overall with the team, with them having 16 points and being third in the league. Now let's go back to the 2021 and 22 season. They were 7th in Metropolitan, which is actually pretty bad. Now obviously this is an 82 game play season. That should be bad after this video and just lose every game. That could possibly very much happen. I highly doubt that might happen, but it very much could happen. But as of right now, the New Jersey Devils only had 63 points in 82 games and had a negative 59 goal difference, which I can't really complain right now because that could easily drop for New Jersey Devils right now. They did not have such a good home and away record. They did not really. And if we look at the stats, their power play percentage was not so good as they were almost dead last with this, only 16%. But you gotta keep in mind this is more games, so this could obviously change. This obviously could change. The penalty kill though is something that's very important. They were actually not too bad with the penalty kill. They're usually not too bad with the penalty kill. Usually that's a pretty good strong point. And that's a bit ironic since they weren't that good within the past few years. But last year they weren't too bad with penalty kill. At the end of the year they really did improve on it. Just shots per game was okay. It wasn't too well. 32 shots, not bad. Shots against, they did allow a lot of shots, which is 30 shots in goal, not a lot. And I believe the face-off win percentage was actually really quite low. Actually, I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure. Oh, here it is. 26, 47% face-off win percentage. Not so good at all. Now, obviously this is from 82 games, but didn't have much. They were almost dead last in the league last season. They did not really have good of a season last year, and something really did change. Now, something to keep in mind is that they had hired two new coaches. Andrew Brunette, who was a Coach of the Year finalist. I don't know what that's the name, but Coach of the Year finalist, and Ryan McGill, who is also a really good coach. And they're both assistant coaches. That's his associate coach and his assistant coach. There's a new coaching staff that could have definitely helped the New Jersey Devils. Now, it is expected that if after the season, if New Jersey Devils don't make the playoffs, or if they do make the playoffs but they lose in the first round or whatever, I highly doubt Lindy Ruff will come back as new head coach, and I believe Andrew Brunette will come and become main coach after this season. Obviously, that is not confirmed, but we don't know that. But Andrew Brunette is a very good coach, and he did coach the Florida Panthers, who were first of last season. So because of this, maybe the New Jersey Devils were much better, as we can see here. Many goals were scored, and I think that because of this, I think this is the reason why New Jersey Devils are better. But I don't think this is the only factor why. Now, the second factor I think really did do a big toll in New Jersey Devils is the player progression. As we see of the last season, Jesper Bratt had 73 points out of 76 games, which for a team that didn't do well that last season is actually really good. Jesper Bratt almost had a point per game. He just had 0 plus or minus, which is pretty decent also. We also have captain Nico Hischier at 60 points, which is also really good since he is the captain who coaches, not coach, but captain of the New Jersey Devils. And next we have Jack Hughes, who had more points than games last season. This is because Jack Hughes was injured for, I think, the first half with a dislocated shoulder, and he did come back better than ever with 56 points with 49 games. Now, if we look now, obviously, it has not been 82 games. Jesper Bratt leads and towers the New Jersey Devils at 17 points in 11 games with a 6 plus 6 plus or minus. And they have Nico Hischier again with 11 points in over 10 games and a plus 7 plus or minus. And then we have Jack Hughes who has 10 points in 11 games with a plus 1 plus or minus. This is basically the same exact standings. And as we can see, Jesper Bratt definitely progressed higher. I think that Jesper Bratt is the future of the New Jersey Devils. We can see that. We can see the same with Nico Hischier and Jack Hughes. So I think player progression definitely had a big toll on why New Jersey Devils were the fastest team or fastest team currently because of the shots on goal and how many goals they scored. Because we can see Jesper Bratt leads in assists and goals, actually ties with goals with Nico Hischier. I think this may have a big factor on why New Jersey Devils are such a good team right now. Now, another thing that kind of ties with player progression is the goalies. As of last season, they had come in with seven different goalies, which shows that the goalie situation was terrible last season. I think the New Jersey Devils had the worst goalies in the NHL last year. They were absolutely terrible. And as a New Jersey Devils fan right now, I think they're terrible. I think they were the worst New Jersey goalies I've seen. They're terrible. I did not like them at all. Mackenzie Blackwood was hurt, I believe. I think he was battling an injury. And then Nico Dawson had come in, and John Bernier. John Bernier was also injured, and that's how it really came in. The injuries definitely had a big toll on what they had. You didn't get many goals like Scott Wedgwood, Kirill Shamin, Hamid. I can't say his name, but the goalie situation was terrible. It was not good at all. Mackenzie Blackwood had to fight with an injury, a back of his heel, I believe. It just wasn't a good season for them. Which, as of right now, first 12 games, Vitek Vanacek, who we did get from, I believe, free agency. If we didn't trade, I'm not sure. Vitek Vanacek does lead with .911 save percentage, which is really good for Vitek Vanacek and for this Devils team. And Mackenzie Blackwood is second, who's sadly battling an injury from last night's game. I hope it's nothing severe because I really do like Mackenzie Blackwood. I think he's a great player, a great goalie. But as of right now, the goal situation isn't too bad. It is obviously still the first 11 games, 13 games. So I think that if it continues to be like this, I think the goalies have a good shot in like saving most of these shots. I mean, as we can see here, the goals allowed is only 2 goals for Vitek Vanacek, pretty good, and for because Blackwood is 2.79, which is also a pretty decent. Goals allowed, Mackenzie Blackwood 17, Vitek Vanacek goes allowed number 10. I really do like Mackenzie Blackwood, but I do think Vitek Vanacek needs to be started more. And even though he's new to this team, I think he does a great job for this new team. Now, if you combine all these factors, this equals to great games for New Jersey Devils. Now, the first games weren't so good for New Jersey Devils as they lost 5-2 to the Flyers and lost 5-2 to Detroit Red Wings. Now, if you get rid of all those, they were 8-1 without the first 2 games. That is really good. That is a really good record for them, as they beat the Ducks 4-2, which was good start, and they beat the Islanders 4-1. Who the Islanders right now, I believe, I'm not sure what they're ranked in. They're third, which is they're a pretty decent team who leads the Metropolitan Division with a plus minus of 14. Now we beat the Sharks 2-1. Very close game, but it was good and they still won. Now the Capitals are obviously always a great team. They're a great team every year, and they beat the Devils 6-3. Devils have a bad history with the Capitals. I think they always lose to the Capitals. But they did beat the Red Wings again. They did do revenge, as they did lose to them in the first two games. And then they beat the Stanley Cup defending champions, who beat them 1-0 to a very close game, but it doesn't matter. They still came out on top with 1-0. And then a 7-1 demolition against the Blue Jackets, 7-1, and then Canucks 5-2, and then a nail biter yesterday, 4-3. This was a great game to watch. I stayed up to watch this game. This game was absolutely great. I love this game. But if you combine all these factors, these comes up with really good games. And since that was our first, if this season were to end today, those would be in the playoffs. But there are still many games to go. And as of right now, Devils do look good, but they have to keep this together because usually Devils have a bad habit of doing well in the first season, doing well in the beginning of the season, and then just losing it. So I really do hope the New Jersey Devils do hang on, since I am a New Jersey Devils fan. I hope they hang on, and I hope they're first or at least second or third. I hope they do that. And comment down below what ranking they are going to be in. I hope they stay at first. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay safe, and have a good day, guys.